She's in with sixes.
Jennifer Tilly kicks things off with pocket sixes. This is a decent hand to entertain a small raise with and see if luck is on your side.
Back on Arden. She calls the 3-bet as well, so 3-way to the flop. Oh my word, set over set and Griffin's flop top pair?
This is going to be bad for Griffin, but it's going to be real bad for Arden.
With the board that the flop delivers, everyone has something to bet about. But instead of that, Tilly and Cho decide to check. With that in mind, our weak top pair is trying to take control of the board by shooting a small bet of $2,500. Tilly is loving it because other than a set of kings, nothing else on the board beats her, and she would love to see this pot growing, so naturally she calls. Miss Cho, on the other hand, has a completely different plan. She is not waiting for the pot to grow. She is growing it herself. She does that by firing a $9,400 bet. Now Benger has a choice. Entertain this top pair, or realize the truth and just give up.
Why is he so serious? He's like a goober 99% of the time.
The angry man quickly decides to fold and not pursue the king. On the other hand, Tilly is more than happy to oblige Miss Cho by re-raising to $30,000 with her set of sixes.
Oh boy.
Jen re-raises $30,000.
At this point, Miss Cho should know the deep trouble she finds herself in, but still decides to go ahead and call on her set of fives. The turn delivers the 9 of clubs, a card that is completely irrelevant to both of them. If I was in the position of Tilly, I would be betting pot here. What would you? Let me know in the comments below. I guess Tilly is not so happy about my jamming suggestion, so she decides to check here and wait for something magical on river. Same thing for Miss Cho. In her case, though, that is in her favor.
And Arden spikes a 1-outer. She's got quads. Meanwhile, Jen has rivered a full house.
Buckle up, because this hand just went from pretty sick to absolutely bonkers.
People say patience is a virtue, but in Tilly's case, her patience came to bite her from behind. The river delivers the only card that can save Miss Cho, and that is the 5 of clubs. Now the only question is, will Tilly get baited by her now full house hand? Or will she read her for the quads Miss Cho has? And as we all thought she should do, Miss Cho goes.
There it is.
This is not good.
No, it sure isn't.
If Jen calls, this will be the biggest pot of the game.
Arden, you have quads because it can't be quads.
Does she know?
I don't think you have kings full. And I don't think you have nines full. You might have fives full.
That's a call.
Phil Hellmuth is looking down at ace-9 suited.
It's not the table I expected.
Pre-flop begins with Phil Hellmuth trying to navigate the choppy waters of a deep-stacked cash game. Phil opens to 1,100 with ace-9 of clubs. It is a marginal hand to open from early position, but Phil trusts his post-flop reads. Mike X calls, keeping the pot multi-way. However, Nick Airball, the loud and aggressive newcomer, wakes up with pocket queens. He senses weakness and 3-bets to 6,200. This is a pivotal moment. The correct play for ace-9 facing a large 3-bet is almost always to fold.
All in.
Oh no! The misstep from Hellmuth as he moves all in.
You're the best, Phil.
Whatever you want, Phil.
2 times?
Good luck, buddy.
And it's Airball's reputation.
I feel like I'm going to hit the first one.
I feel like you're scooping.
Airball's reputation gets him these kind of plays.
I know these things.
Never mind.
Flush draw.
Now we mind, right?
Ace or a club.
How many outs?
That's 8 clubs and 3 aces, 11 outs.
So what's your
33 outs.
What's your percentage? Like
25%. Exactly.
All right, so 100% for Phil, 0% for Nick. We know this story. Tale as old as time, and the next board we get the ace.
Nope, 10 of hearts. And 2 clubs have been wasted, by the way.
I've been getting crushed forever. Phil wins all the money in poker. I just lose. A little rake back for the kid. I've been beaten
Nope,
down.
king high board. 2 hearts out there.
And
Hellmuth
Well, prepay not
looking
allowed.
sad.
I mean,
Not what I expected.
To fold
I like
the
your
hand?
chances.
I don't think so.
Need some kind of competition.
I'll take, if I lose this, I'll take 20. Nice hand.
But you seem like a nice guy, Mike. I won't talk smack to you.
An air ball. Scoops, wins $56,000 pot, and does fell to Phil Hellmuth. Hellmuth bought in for $20K, had worked it up to about $29,000 before losing all of it to airball. So he is in for a second buy-in, but they are min buy-ins.
Jennifer Tilly is looking down on 8-6 suited. Negreanu opens with ace-2 offsuit. That is a light but purposeful steal, using the ace as a blocker to reduce the chance he runs into a premium and leaning on position to realize whatever equity shows up later. Tilly answers with a re-raise. That choice is great against a suspected wide open because suited connectors play cleanly post-flop, deny cheap realization to the opener, and set her up to attack a player who loves to take flops.
It's a little too small, Jen. Phil Locke is going to be upset with you after that raise size because it's too small.
Last time I took a raise from you, I lost the tournament.
Sorry.
Negreanu calls rather than 4-betting. He keeps her range wide, carries the positional advantage into a pot that is not yet bloated, and quietly pockets the option to turn later cards into leverage even when he misses.
Okay, now I'm going to do the dunk bet.
It's not a donk bet because you were the pre-flop raiser.
Oh, okay, it's not a dunk bet.
It's a continuation bet.
A continuation bet.
Tilly follows through for a small C-bet. The sizing stresses floats and gut shots and keeps her range comfortably uncapped.
A lot of bad cards come off, and then I can just bluff raise the turn or something stupid like that.
You could.
Turn a pair into a bluff. I'm really good at that. It's one of my big things Bill Reynolds taught me.
Negreanu does not have value, but he does have a plan. He calls to float, buying one more card and preserving the initiative advantage that comes from acting last. If she slows on the turn, he gets to tell the next chapter. If she barrels big, he can release cheaply and move on. The texture inches toward the middling wheelish territory that favors the caller. Tilly checks. That single check compresses her range away from very strong overpairs and toward one-pair hands and draws that prefer pot control. Negreanu seizes the mic with a bet. The number is not huge, but the message is loud. He denies a free card to overcards, pressures hands like ace-queen and king-jack that C-bet once, and begins building a story that can arrive at straights and two-pair by the river. His literal hand did not improve, however his distribution did, because the cards he credibly represent improved. Calling the flop to take it away on the turn is classic small ball pressure, and he executes it cleanly. This is the card that ties the room together, and the run-out connects squarely with the very suited connectors that defend 3-bet pots from the blinds. Tilly leads small. That type of sizing often functions as a blocker, a way to name a price with a hand that does not want to face a pot-sized bomb. To Negreanu, that looks like a door left slightly open. He chooses to kick it in and chips. The shove polarizes him to the straights and strong two-pair he has been representing since the turn.
We probably have the same hand. Oh, so sick. You have 9-jack, right?
Would that be the same hand as you have? Because if you did have that and you didn't call by now, it would be a little bizarre.
You're in Jennifer Tilly's seat. You have the straight. Negreanu shoves over your small lead. What's your move, snap call, or an impossible fold? And why in one sentence? Best clear answer gets pinned.
Oh, God.
Oh, you have a 6? You raised me with a 6 out of position?
No.
That's crazy talk.
Tilly folds.
Brandstrom is looking down at King 3 offsuit, but he's heads up against Suitsor, who raised to 900,000 with 6-3 suited.
Does not mix in the re-raise, just a call. Hello, nurse. OMG.
Full house for Brandstrom. Trip 3s for Suitsor.
Brandstrom checks. Textbook trap play. He's got the board absolutely crushed. And by checking, he's giving Suitsor the green light to bet with all his bluffs, value hands, and even air.
He might be tempted not to check raise here, but we can see if he plays it quick, all of the chips are going to be going into the middle.
Here comes the C-bet. 700,000 into 2.2 million.
A standard continuation bet. But in reality, he's walking straight into quicksand. With trip threes, he's betting for value and protection, expecting to get called by weak kings, pocket pairs, or even some ace-high floats. From Brandstrom's perspective, this is perfect. His check has worked.
You can only play this slow, right? You've just got so much of this, and it's so unlikely that your opponent does. What can you do? Oh, come on. Jeez.
The turn comes 6 of diamonds, and Brandstrom checks again. It's a brilliant move because it keeps the door wide open for Tsutsor to keep betting.
Does Brandstrom want to now start getting all the chips in on the turn?
Tsutsor fires 1.7 million. This bet makes perfect sense from his perspective, and Brandstrom has checked twice, showing no aggression.
You gotta just call again and go for value on the river, and you are gonna get it.
The 10 of hearts lands on the river. And once again, Brandstrom checks. He's played this hand perfectly so far. By checking here, he's saying, I don't have a strong hand. You're totally safe to bet again.
The check raise on the river means he'll get to play for all of the chips.
The nonchalant 6 million bet.
Tsutsor falls for it completely unaware he's about to get wrecked. But after investing so much, can he actually fold here?
There's the shove, checks his hand, snap calls, thinks it's all over, but it is not.
Too excited, no.
House over house, ridiculously sick cooler.
Vanessa is looking down on pocket aces.
So it's me and you. I got to raise it 1,200. So if you re-raise, then you build the pot so big, and then you're going to get bluffed out in a big pot.
Tony G thinks he's going to outplay Vanessa post-flop with position and a junk-suited looking hand.
Keep the pots low. I bet 2,000. Yeah. That's fair, you know. I think it's better betting in a dark. A dark raise, that's hard and commitment.
The flop is the dream board for Tony. He smashes bottom 2 pair versus most opponents. This is where he starts fast playing, trying to punish overpairs and top pair by ballooning the pot immediately. He leads 2K, to which Vanessa instantly raises to 5K. From her point of view, this looks super standard. She has overpair, she doesn't block spades, there are straight and flush combos Tony G can show up with, and she wants to deny equity.
You ready?
From Tony's point of view, that raise is exactly what he was hoping to induce. He doesn't just call, he makes it 20K.
You ready? If you win the hand, you keep me quiet.
Don't believe you. That bluff I'll call.
That size is Tony basically telling a story of, I'm not scared of you, I have a real hand. The problem he doesn't realize is Vanessa loves that story. When she flats the 20K instead of jamming, she's saying, I have you in jail, and I'm letting you keep betting. With aces, she caps nothing, and Tony can't narrow her the way he thinks he can. Turn is where everything flips, and Tony doesn't feel it yet. So Tony keeps value betting for 10K.
You could shut me right up.
How?
Well, by being all in and winning the pot.
Punch in the face.
Just push a button?
Thinking he can still get called by worse and charge flush draws. But in reality, he's now drawing almost dead against boats and nutty slow plays, and Vanessa has him in a spot where calling is mandatory and raising is unnecessary. Full house versus full house is where bankrolls go bankrupt, because nobody folds boats to one bet emotionally.
Now you got to show some guts. Can you bet this, or are you going to make a really weak check now on the end? Go on, Vanessa, you can do it.
All in.
Call.
Ace is full.
Wow, very nice. That's the best. Very nice.
You got screwed?
I got a full house too on the end.
Wow.
And a flush draw. That's it. That shut me up. Well done, Vanessa.
Vanessa doubles through.
I got lucky, obviously.
Not really. I mean, it's...
We took turns getting lucky. I got lucky to get the aces, you got lucky on the flop, I got lucky on the turn.
I haven't won one hand when I've been good. So.
Doug Polk is looking down at pocket aces, but he's up against LSG Hank, who's raised to $6,000 with ace-jack suited. From the small blind, players are often expected to 3-bet to protect their position. That dynamic makes Polk's aces even more dangerous because they don't look as strong as they are. That kind of 3-bet sizing almost looks like he's trying to scare Hank off the hand rather than invite action. But that's exactly the beauty of it. Polk wants to trick Hank into thinking it's just an attempt to steal the pot, when really Doug is just setting the trap. The suited ace and being in position here gives Hank just enough to justify seeing a flop. This is about as good a flop as Polk could hope for. In a 3-bet pot like this, Hank's range is weighted towards suited broadways and pocket pairs. That means the only real hand Polk has to worry about is pocket queens. Against everything else, his aces are still miles ahead. Polk makes a value bet of around 1/3 of the pot, just small enough to make sure Hank calls even with hands that completely miss the flop.
And he now has the nut flush draw. 111,000 in the middle. Guess how much Doug will bet. It's like a little poker test. See how close you are.
Doug Polk is feeling pretty comfortable with this card on the turn. With the way they played pre-flop, there's no way Hank has 2 pair or a set smaller than queens. I think Doug should bet small again.
81. All right.
I'm telling him he should be using big ante online.
Hank puts in the call. He needs a diamond. Instead, it's the 9 of hearts.
The river changes absolutely nothing here. Do you think Polk should check and just call if Hank bets, or should he bet here and risk getting raised? Let me know down in the comments.
200,000. Beautiful poker.
All in.
All in.
All in, says Hank.
Spade, I fold. Heart, we do it again.
This is amazing.
Fold.
Show him.